Hello again, sorry to disturb you while you're talking. Before we get into sort of the more formal side of the presentation, I would like to introduce you to Alicia. Alicia is our education student rep, and we're going to let her say a few words to you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the University of Adelaide, and in particular to the Bachelor of Education degree. My name is Alicia Grote, and I am the Undergraduate Student Representative for Education. Firstly, I would like to congratulate you all on your acceptance into the course. I am confident that this course will offer you everything you require to become professional and successful teachers in 4 years to come. My role as this year's elected student representative is to act as a medium of communication between the student body and to voice any concerns or queries you have in regards to your degree, or just to be a friendly face around the campus. The purpose of my talk today is to share first-hand experience being a first-year education student at this university, divulge some survival tips on how to breeze through your first year, and at the end of the session answer any questions you have regarding the course. Firstly, I graduated high school in 2011 and I always envisioned that I would come to university. Unsure about what exactly I wanted to do with my life, I found myself enrolling in commerce accounting, something which my mother suggested but I had little to no interest or even knowledge about. After one extremely hard and unhappy year, 3 failed subjects, and not one step forward to my goals in my life, I decided to give my short-lived career prospect of being an accountant the flick, much to my mother's dismay. At this point, I was right back to where I started, having no idea of where I wanted to go with my career. I wish I could say I had some dramatic epiphany where a beacon of light came from the education building, like drawing me in, but no. I just asked myself a simple question: what do I like? And the answer was English. Then I asked myself, what can I do? How can I get paid to study English? Which was teaching. After essentially falling into the teaching degree, this off-the-cuff decision became the best decision I've made in my university career. I now await to begin my second year of education degree, combining it with an arts degree, having a major of English and a minor of linguistics. I also recently enrolled in a diploma of languages where I endeavour to be qualified to speak French. If there were any moral to my rambling over the past 2 minutes, it was just to be follow your passions. I learnt the long and hard way that pursuing something that you'd have no interest in only leads to failure, and feeling dissatisfied with the university altogether. You must all be in the middle of choosing your subjects now, so I urge you to reflect on your own interests of which subject path you'd like to take. Yes, it may be daunting that decisions you make now will have a great deal of impact on your career, and of course you'll need much deliberation in these decisions, but you can always change your mind, because once you're in university it is quite flexible. This brings me to my next point of balancing your life around university. As school was, university will be your main priority, as it is the key to success of your future. Part-time jobs, sporting commitments and social life need to play an important role in the university as well as just study. This balance in your life can only be the result of planning. I think we have all been there, where it's 2 a.m, you've got an essay due the next morning and you're still trying to figure out the first sentence. I think we can all agree that better planning would have made that much less stressful. I also imagine you have mixed feelings and worry about the first year of uni, especially those coming straight from year 12. I had similar feelings a long time ago when I first started. I suppose all I can say is you'll be fine. Over the past year I've found that, especially in the teaching degree, there's always a friendly face or a simple avenue to take in order to solve any query you have. Your lecturers, tutors, administrators, course coordinators are always willing to assist you in your transition to uni, as am I, easily contacted through the email address and that page you can see above me. In addition, there's also a Facebook page called Adelaide Uni Education Students Association, which you can just type in the search bar, and that's like a social page where you can get involved in social events and make friends. In summary, I would like to disclose some helpful tips which in my experience will support you in your exciting first year of uni. Be prepared. Try and get all the stationery, books, textbooks, everything you need before the first week of uni starts, just so you can hit the ground running and be ready to go once the first lectures begin. Get to know your tutor and lecturer. They give you their email addresses, so you can always email them with any problems you have. And get to know where your tutes and lectures are before you go, so you're not wandering around 2 minutes before it starts, not knowing what building you're in. I found that there's an app on the App Store called Lost on Campus, and that you can type in wherever you need to go, and it literally directs you. And yeah, that's all from me now. Congratulations again on this is great achievement of being accepted into this degree. I hope you're really proud of yourself, and I'll be staying back after if you have any questions.
Thanks, Alicia. So let me also add my congratulations to Alicia as well. Congratulations on getting an offer into a Bachelor of Teaching with the University of Adelaide, but well done on actually accepting your offer with us. What this means is that you're actually now a part of a very prestigious faculty. The aim of today's session is to introduce you to some of the services and facilities that you're going to have access to because you're now part of our faculty, and also to introduce you to some of the staff that you'll have contact with throughout your studies. We're going to give you quite a lot of information, but please remember that the team is here, the team that I'll introduce to you in just a minute, is here to guide you on your experience through uni. We're not going to be able to make any decisions for you, but we certainly hope that we'll be able to guide you in making decisions. So before I get on to today's session, what I'd like you to do is to introduce you to some of the key staff that you'll be dealing with in your time here. First, we've got Jason, who is our program advisor. I strongly encourage you to get to know Jason's face because I'm pretty sure at some point you're going to need Jason to help you with your course selections. You might have questions about teachers' registration, you might have lots of questions around your education degree, and Jason is the person to help you with that. So in conjunction with your teaching degree, you'll be doing another degree as well. Unfortunately, we don't have the full reps from across the faculties, but we certainly have Sarah, who is from Humanities. So if you're doing a Bachelor of Arts combined with a Bachelor of Teaching, Sarah, again, get to know her face because she's going to be able to help you with your course selections throughout your degree. So at the end of today's session, as you can see on the screen, by the end of today's session, what we hope you can take away is that you will know a little bit more about the Professions Hub. What other facilities, what can we do for you, and also what are the resources that we have available for you as well. I won't do all the talking because I don't think you want to hear me talk for the whole session. Jason's going to talk to you about your teaching areas and also and also the majors and the minors of your other degree and how that's going to help shape your teaching area. He's going to guide you on the steps on how to enrol for 2014. He's going to talk to you about the important forms that you're going to need to fill in so that you're ready for your first prac. We're going to touch on very briefly about studying overseas, and we're also going to talk to you about other opportunities that you're going to have. So not necessarily about the opportunities that you have in your course, but how you can get involved in the student life with our faculty. Now, just a bit of a disclaimer before we move on. This is going to be a lot of information. We don't expect that you remember everything, but if there's anything that we cover throughout today's session, if you're not really clear on, or if you want to ask another question, please feel free to stop, raise your hand and just ask that question, because no doubt someone else in the room is probably going to have that same question that you've got. Okay, so let me just go into the Professions Hub. So you're going to hear us say the Professions Hub, the UG Hub, the Hub. Just very quickly, we are not Central Hub, which is located, or Hub Central, which is located on North Terrace. The Hub Central, the UG Hub, or the Undergraduate Hub, is a space that's dedicated for just professions students. So everyone in this room is going to have access to our services. We are a purpose-built facility built in 2008, and we have a dedicated team of staff who are here to help you make the best out of your experience at university. So like I touched on, we have program advisors in the Hub to help you in terms of your course selection, making sure that you've structured your degree correctly, teachers' registration inquiries, anything to do with your education degree. Program advisors in the Undergraduate Hub can help you with that. We have a Global Mobility Officer, and this is a position that is unique to just our faculty, and this position helps students go on study tours, go on exchange opportunities, study opportunities overseas that will add a bit of depth and breadth to their degree. So in addition to these wonderful staff, we have student information officers, or sometimes called as front counter staff, but they're really useful staff to get to know. If you have just a little question, you're not really sure who in the university can help you with that, come and speak to our front counter staff, because chances are, if they don't know the answer, and it's very unlikely, if they don't know the answer to your question, they certainly know who in the university can help you, and they'll direct you to the right place. The hub is also a space for you to submit and collect your assignments. So if you hear from your lecturer that your assignments are ready to collect, ground floor of the hub is where you do it from. We're open Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. Okay, so some of the facilities, and I'm going to touch on this very quickly because you can probably see it for yourself. We have a hub cafe. So if you need a bit of a break and you need a bit of a caffeine hit, or you need a space to go and meet your group members, or just to sit there and sort of do a bit of study by yourself, the cafe is located on the ground floor. You can see the opening hours and what sort of features you can expect from there. The Undergraduate Student Lounge, this is a facility that is just for you, so you don't have to worry about having to compete with other students from other faculties around the university. This is a space just for profession students. It's an area where you can go and do private studies by yourself. We've got group study booths where you can meet up with your fellow group members to work on assignments or projects. And there are lounges if you just want to kick back and sort of relax. And there's plenty of computer spaces, computers available for you to use as well. It's open from 6 a.m. till 12 midnight. The only thing to remember is that because it's a dedicated staff space for our student, make sure you bring your student ID card because you will need that in order to access the room. Am I going too quickly? No? Good. Questions? No? So we have a first year learning centre. So you can probably see a theme coming out of this. We've got lots of dedicated space for our students. So the first year learning centre is exclusive to first year students. So everyone sitting in this room at the moment will be able to use this space. It's again an area for you to go and do private studies, access computer lounges, or just meet your fellow students there if you like. And it's accessed through swipe card as well. If you need more computers, because computers are so scarce these days, there are over 200 computers available on the Level 2 computer suites, and you can see again a dedicated space to you, and I'll just let you read the opening times on the screen for yourself. Sometimes you might have tutorials, lectures, whatever you want to call them, in our basement room. So if you see on your timetable something called UB, that refers to the basement, and the colours are red, blue, green and yellow, and they're located on the basement floor of 10 Pulteney Street. So throughout your studies, you're going to come into contact and you're going to need to use quite a few websites provided by the university. What I'll do now is just touch on some of the key ones that you'll need to use. So the first and the most important one is the Professions Hub website. It's a very comprehensive website for new students as well as continuing students. But for yourself, we've created a very detailed new student page. We guide you through on the steps to enrolling. We provide you with study plans so you know what the structure of your degree looks like. There's lots of support services available through the Undergraduate Hub student website. So what I encourage you to do before you even think about enrolling in whatever courses that you need to, have a look at our website and go through the new student website because there's lots of valuable information there. Don't worry about writing the URL down because it is included on the back of your How to Enrol pamphlet. So, Unified, you're going to hear terms such as Access Adelaide, My Uni, Course Planner, a few other things I can't think of at the moment, but what you need to remember, because I can't remember all of them, is Unified. That is your one-stop shop in terms of portal. You log into Unified the one time. You don't have to put your password in multiple times, just the one time, and it'll take you to things like Access Adelaide, where you need to complete your enrolment, and My Uni as well, which is where you need to go to access your course information. So that's what the landing screen looks like for Unified, just so you're familiar with it. This is the landing screen for My Uni, so you'll need to go here to access course-specific information. When you've enrolled into a course through Access Adelaide, that course will appear onto My Uni, and you will only get access to courses on My Uni that you've enrolled for. If you go into My Uni and you see that the course that you've enrolled has appeared, but it says unavailable, don't worry, that doesn't mean that you haven't enrolled correctly. It just simply means that your lecturer hasn't made the course available. And it's general practice for lecturers to make courses available or open courses a couple of weeks leading up to semester. Now this is a website I'm sure you use quite often, and this is called Course Planner. This is the website we refer students to if they want to find out more information about a particular course. So when you're selecting your courses for semester 1 and semester 2, and you want to find things out such as, well, how many contact hours are there? What sort of assessments will there be? And what sort of topics will they cover in that course? Course Planner is the site for you to go to. You can search for courses through a couple of ways. You can just simply put in the course title if you know it, or if you prefer, or if there's a specific discipline that you're looking for, say English or biology or physics, for example. You click on the drop-down box and find that subject area, and then you simply click search, and it will give you all of the courses in that particular discipline that you've looked for. Straightforward? Yes? No? So what I'll do now is I'm going to hand over to Jason, and he's going to talk more about the program side of your degree, or the course side of your degree.
So hello, welcome everyone, welcome to university. Congratulations on getting in. We all think you made a fantastic decision to come here and study. And this is the beginning, this is the start, it's the first day kind of, and it's all leading up to the start of the semester. So what we're going to go through today is the Bachelor of Teaching with the other degree. So this session is deliberately on a Friday afternoon, because it's the last day before enrolment starts. So hopefully by now, you've gone to your humanities session, you've gone to your art session, your maths computer science session, the science session, or the economics session. So just so I know who I'm talking to, who's an arts teaching student here? Hands up. Cool. Who's an economics teaching? Yes, 2. Maths computer science? Good. And science? Yeah. So did everyone go to the other session, maybe earlier this week, maybe last week? Cool. So now you kind of become familiar with how your degree is structured. It's a double degree. That means at the end of 4 years of study, you will graduate with 2 pieces of paper. You will have 2 certificates hanging on the wall. So you need to meet the requirements of your science degree, your arts degree. You need to do a major and minor accommodation of an arts degree. You really need to make that requirement in the other degree. What the teaching degree is doing is giving you the knowledge about how to teach that knowledge. So ultimately, in 3 years from now, 4th year, you'll do 1 year just dedicated towards the teaching degree. So that's what we're trying to aim towards. Getting you with the skills, or more importantly, the knowledge in science, in English, in maths, in economics, whatever it is. We want you to have the knowledge over the first 3 years, and the 4th year is devoted just towards getting the knowledge about how to teach that information. So to help you to plan that, to think about it in terms of 1st year, 2nd year, 3rd year, 4th year, even to break it down even further to 1st semester, 2nd semester, a study plan is it's a piece of paper that shows you what courses you should be doing in what semester. You have a lot of control over that by deciding what your major and minor combination will be in your arts degree, what kind of teacher you want to be in the future. So you can decide that, but you have to make sure it complies with the arts to Bachelor of Arts, or you have to do all the courses for an economics degree. With an economics degree, you also choose another teaching area, and that's very true with the science degree. You're doing a dedicated science area or dedicated economics area, but you get to choose what the other area is. So like Alicia said, we want you to be passionate, we want you to be interested in what you're teaching. So have a think about that before enrolment starts. It doesn't matter if it does matter if you make a mistake, but you do have the flexibility over this year to try different things. To try an English course, a history course, try a linguistics course. But it's all about being passionate about what you want to teach. And your study plan is that start. So the way to find the study plan is on the Professions Hub website. So we've got a dedicated section for the Bachelor of Teaching degrees. These are all, Word docs that you can edit. You can put your courses in. You can bring those to the hub. You can take that to your other faculty. You can ask them to check it. We want you to be on track. We want you to do what complies with the rules. So look at the study plan, look at the courses, and just ask questions. Be involved with your studies. So the page is broken up into the different degrees. So there's a teaching with arts. So again, that's a major and minor in your arts degree, and they form the teaching areas that you'll be teaching in the future. It always is complemented with the teaching degree. So the teaching side of it, no matter what double degree you're doing, is exactly the same. So just keep those kind of things involved. So this is the structure of the Bachelor of Arts with the Bachelor of Teaching. So the green courses are a major. 8 courses in a discipline make up a major. So you must do a major and an arts degree. The courses in the orange colour are your minor. So an arts degree is a major and a minor. A major is 8 courses, a minor is 6 courses in a discipline. So keep those things in mind when you're choosing your courses. What would your major be? What will your minor be? The courses in, well, this reddish colour is a new compulsory course for the arts degree, so you have to do that at some stage this year. The courses in blue, these are all the teaching courses, so they're compulsory for your degree. You have to do schools and policy in first semester, you have to do primary schools interaction in second semester. There's no choice for that. But you can choose your major, you can choose your minor. The courses in white are your elective courses, so they're your choice. They don't have to be related to your major and minor. You could decide to do an introduction course in Japanese, but you may not go on to do more Japanese courses. It's your choice. You have that flexibility. So this is an example of a study plan for the Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Teaching. So there are study plans for all the other degrees. So this is a Bachelor of Science with a Bachelor of Teaching. Again, you can see that the teaching courses, they don't change. They're exactly the same. Schools and policy in first semester, primary schools interaction in second semester. But you get to choose what your science degree is about. So usually, students that are doing teaching with science, they want to be in chemistry, biology, psychology possibly. But really get advice about those teaching areas, or what those possibilities are from the science faculty. So I think with sciences next week they have an opportunity to sit one-on-one with an academic advisor. Take advantage of that. Hopefully you would have met Simon Pike at some stage. Simon is a fantastic resource for you to use if you're in a science and teaching degree, because he's very familiar with what is required for the science degree, but more importantly, what is required for your future teaching. Yeah.
So the information session to attend, like course counselling, is open after enrolment. So
that's for science, you think?
I heard before the enrolment's opening tomorrow. 11. Okay. So it's a bit weird.
Well,
because the information session is on the 13th. So
that's the one-on-one counselling.
Yeah.
So what you can do is enrol to some courses, show that to the person on the 13th, and see, we'll explain to them what kind of teacher we're in, and see if it all matches up.
can you change it?
Yes, definitely. You can change your enrolment all the way through February. You could even change it during the first week of teaching in March. But we would hope by the end of the first week or the start of the second week, you're kind of locked into things. But then semester starts going very quickly. It's going to sheets, going to lecture screen. But you can change it all the way through February. Any other questions? Yeah.
Is it possible to do 2 majors instead of a major and one?
Yeah, that's true.
Arts degree.
Yeah. So remember, a major is 8 courses in a discipline, a minor 6. If you turn 2 of those white courses that are electives into your minor courses, then you're doing 8 and 8, and it's another major.
Cool. How do you do the arts ones?
Yeah. But Sarah. Yeah.
With the inquiring mind subject, if you've studied like arts last year, do you have to then do that this year as well?
I think humanities will give great advice about that. But if you transferred from one degree to a double degree, and you've passed everything last year, chances are you don't have to do it. Yeah.
Yeah. But come in and speak to us.
Okay.
Anyone else? Cool. So regardless of what degree you're doing, I really encourage you to look at the study plan for the double. I mean, the teaching side of it's really straightforward. That's not going to change for any of you. But you have to make sure your degree is compliant with the other degree. And that's what we're really trying to stress and get you to understand today. So if you're a full-time student, you'll be enrolling to 4 courses per semester. So maybe I should have explained that a course in university language is a subject. Okay? Your degree is your program. So when I say 4 courses per semester, I'm really saying 4 subjects in a semester. So that can be 3 courses from your arts degree, 3 courses from economics, science, maths, plus 3 courses for the other degree. That could be an elective plus 2 compulsories, plus your teaching degree. So for your teaching degree, just to emphasise it again, schools and policy for first semester, primary school's interaction for second semester. Okay. Primary school's interaction is actually a placement course. It's an introduction, well, it's an observational placement in a primary school. So our degree is all about middle to senior, so why we're getting you to do a primary school placement? Well, most of you here are from a school last year, so it's not quite fair that we put you straight into that school environment 1 year after leaving it. So we give you a gentle introduction to teaching through the primary school's interaction course. So in terms of the physical enrolment, how do you input numbers, do it through Access Adelaide, all that kind of business. We could go through it in a lot of detail today, but the best resource to use is actually the website. So enrolment starts on Tuesday, 11th. Before then, you have to do some research about what your major and minor will be. But more importantly than that, become familiar with the enrolment process. Become familiar with what Access Adelaide, how it works, what the enrolment checklist is, what a class number is, all that kind of thing is explained in a lot of detail on our website. So I hope everyone here has got a welcome letter from university because that explains your username and your password. Use those details to log into Access Adelaide via Unified. Complete the enrolment checklist before it opens on Tuesday. But become familiar with the enrolment process and how it all works through our website. Then when enrolment starts on Tuesday, have a couple of tabs open, have a couple of windows open with each of these different things. Then you'll just be able to copy and paste from one thing to the next, or look at the information on our website about what a class number is, where to find it. Have the information for the course planner available so you can see the class times available. And then have another tab open with Access Adelaide. Having all three of those open will just make enrolment so simple. I'm sure you've heard the horror stories from other students about how hard it is to enroll in courses. But if you just plan, and if you just put some time and effort into it before enrolment starts, you'll realise how simple it can be.
Don't change that.
Yep.
Just leave it up for just a minute.
Sure. Are you copying the address? Everything?
There's so many addresses.
Yeah. So don't forget it's this pamphlet here should have the address on the back and some good information inside. So this is just an example of how detailed the website is. So there's a section that says how to enrol or steps to enrolling, and then we go through the actual 8 steps or 7 steps physically about how to do that, what each step is all about. So planning your timetable. You can do that all weekend until enrolment starts on Tuesday. The more planning you do, the easier enrolment will be, trust me. So just some enrolment hints. A class number, that's related to what subject, what course you're doing each semester. So if you ever need to find a class number, remember it's a 5-digit number. Generally, the class number would start with 1 if it's a semester 1 course, and 2 if it's a semester 2 course. So remember that. No overloading. I don't even want to mention this, but anyway. No overloading means no more than 4 courses in first semester. So that could be 3 courses towards your arts degree and 1 teaching course. But stick with the standard plan for first semester. Classes will fill up quickly or preferred tube times. Everyone wants to go to the lecture, then straight away have their tube, and then go to lunch for 7 hours. But I guess classes will fill up quick, or their preferred tubes will fill up quick. So the more planning you do, the more preparation you do for Tuesday. I think enrolment starts at exactly 2 o'clock. The easier you make the process and the more chances you are to get your preferred tube times. A prerequisite, well, that's university language for a course you must do before another course. So in your teaching degree, everyone has to do schools and policy in first semester, and you won't be able to do second year courses until you pass schools and policy. So there's a progression of your learning that you have to learn, or you have to understand, before you can move to level 2 courses. So remember prerequisite issues. I guess our life becomes easier if you enroll for the whole year on Tuesday. Your plans may change, but at least try to enrol for semester 1 and semester 2. It's flexible. Semester 2 you can change, but get an indication of who's doing what. Just plan to enrol for both semesters on Tuesday. If you do have an enrolment error, we'll help you as much as we can. But if it's you You don't like doing classes at 8 o'clock in the morning and that's the only time available? Well, I'm sorry, you may have to go to it. You know, I get to work at 8, why can't you? So just remember the new student website as well. Like, it explains a lot of detail about the university. It explains a lot of detail about the enrolment process. Everything that we want you to know is on the website now. So, sure, come and see us. We're happy to talk to you about your degree and what options you have. But if you want to work through this information at home on the website, I'm sure you'll find the answers that you need. Did you get the web address? Yep. Yes. So everyone's accepted their offer. Everyone understands the steps to enrolling, where to find that on the website. Before classes start, I guess this is pretty important for teaching students because there's a couple of forms we need you to fill out or be aware of at least. So soon after you got your offer in SATEC, you would have received an email from us and possibly also a text message from the Professions Hub. Both of those have a link to our website and the new student section of that website. The reason we've given you that link is because you need to fill out the student information sheet, which gives us the details about who you are, your contact details, and basically we pass this on to your placement school for second semester. So believe it or not, placement organisation, you know, who's going to what place, primary school, we need to start that pretty early. We basically need to start that in March. So this kind of information on the student information sheet, if you can return to us in February, will help us to organise your placement for later in the year. Because you're going into a school environment, you need to have a police check, an informed consent form. You need to have this completed before week 5. If you don't have this completed by week 5, then you won't be able to go on your primary school interaction. You won't be placed in the school. So the important thing with this form is that we've pre-filled section D. So section D you don't have to touch when you fill out the form, but it's pre-filled by the School of Education so that when you submit it eventually to the post office, then the information will come back to the university. You don't have to return the police check yourself to the university, but you'll get a copy of your clearance from the department. Yep.
Is there a cost associated with getting a police check?
This one costs $42, yeah. That's the cheaper rate. I think it's 62. Yeah.
If you've already got a police clearance from a volunteer that you've done, do you need to resubmit an application? Is it different?
This is done through the Department of Communities and Social Inclusion, and this is the check we have we've done. If you've got one done in the last 12 months, bring it in for signing. They do expire every year. Yeah. So it has to be done through the department. Sorry, one minute. Yeah. So it has to be done through the department, and it has to be current for the whole year. Yeah.
If you've got one done in the last 12 months, can it just be a photocopy of the one you bring in?
Bring it in for us, and we'll start it and copy it.
Okay.
Yeah. Don't copy it yourself because we don't do it. Yeah.
Where do you get them from?
Yeah. It's a little one. Can you write that down? So that will take you straight to the new teaching student section of our website. And from there you can download the information sheet and you can download this form as well. So like I said, it's important you use the form that we've provided on that website so that we receive a copy of it in the future. Yeah?
For the screening form, say that some documents have to be present to the officer. In the screening form, there's a document checklist.
There's a, sorry?
Within the screening form,
Yeah.
the second one, the criminal history.
Yeah?
It says that some documents you have to give them to the officer.
Okay. What it's saying is this form needs to be completed by you and returned to the post office with payment. And we need all that done before week 5. So eventually the clearance will come back to university. So there's no officer you need to take it to, you just take it to the post office.
What about the documents that are mentioned in the form?
Thank you for about identification.
Yeah? Oh, so
I think actually
yeah, section C is the identification check, is that? sense? Yeah. So that section you need to take to a police officer or a JP. So you need to get your identification checked. They sign off on it in section C, and then you take a completed form to the police office.
I think there's actually a couple in the security office, if you know where that is, you can do that for you as well on campus. So
The student information sheet for placements in school.
This one?
Yes. Is that the
Yeah.
address that you did
That is one, yeah. So that web address has the information sheet, and it also has the form for the
So what do you do with it after you fill it in?
bring it into the hub or email it to us. There's an email address on the website. Any other questions? Yep.
The payment for the history check,
Yep.
is that online or at the post
At the post office. Yeah.
What if you're in the process of getting a police check through part-time work?
So that means you'll receive a copy of that check. You can bring that check into the hub, and we'll sign it and pass it on to the school. Any other questions? So just to emphasise, back to enrolment, okay, plan. Think about what your major or minor will be. Think about what your science teaching area will be. In an economics degree, you've got economics as one teaching area, so think about what your other teaching area is going to be. And make sure they kind of match what we teach in the School of Education. Or come and talk to us in the hub and we'll go through that kind of detail. But your study plan is the most important resource to look at over the next couple of days, because that will outline what you need to do for your degree, what possible teaching areas you have, and it'll just make you feel a little bit more secure about your studies here. So getting involved, it's not just, come to university, go to classes and disappear. We want you to becoming more involved in your studies, because we feel that if you're more involved, if you're doing different things with your studies, you'll feel more connected and you'll get better results. So there's a separate section in the website about getting involved, what it means to be a student leader. Alicia's our student rep. She gets to come to these kind of events and meet you guys. She gets to go to committee meetings. She's your avenue to contact us if you don't feel comfortable coming directly to us. So this is an example of getting involved. But I think Kerry's going to explain to you lots of other things that you can do.
Thanks, Jason. Thanks, everyone. So I'm actually part of the student experience team in the faculty, and I'm here today to talk to you about a program that's almost as new as you, and it's called Adelaide Advantage. And like Jason and Alicia have both mentioned, there are a lot of clubs and associations and things that you can join. But we've brought out this new program to acknowledge those co-curricular things that students do. So I heard the word volunteering. I'm sure a lot of you, amongst balancing work, part-time work, family, other sort of things, it's really important that you also perhaps look outside the square and, maybe even when it comes to certain opportunities that will maybe provide a bit of a cutting edge when you're actually applying, in a few more years' time for employment. So what it is, it's a new program. Like I mentioned, the whole idea is that you're involved in things like perhaps exchange. I know with education and double degrees, it's a process you need to talk to someone about more clearly, but there are other things you can do like peer networking, attending certain career service opportunities and workshops and things like that. And you get certain allocated points for those things, and then you need to basically build up to get 50 points. So that's sort of what it actually is. At the end of that, you will receive a certificate, in addition, obviously, to your academic transcripts and things, but also a letter from the executive dean or appropriate person acknowledging your involvement. So it's really great. And look, at the end of the day, my advice as a middle school teacher, when I did go into my DCAD, making friends was extremely important. So having that close network, a handful of you obviously will work together in assessments and things, but having that little social network that you can fall back on when you're not sure about things, making the most of it, definitely building those kind of connections, obviously with other teachers and when you go out to prac and things like that. So whilst I didn't study at the Uni of Adelaide, I was actually in Perth. I'm more than happy to talk to you about behaviour management strategies and anything else that's to do with that. But Jason is definitely your person for they're really important stuff. So Prof Connect is one of those opportunities, and for you as a first year, we have wonderful student leaders and mentors who will be running social events and activities that you can actually attend. Okay, and I believe you've got a flyer in there in your little package. So this is the first one, a campus campus tour. You know, you might sort of think, oh, well, I'm always going to be across the road, you know, in Nexus doing my classes. You'll probably find, depending on the size of your classes, like biology, 500 people in one lecture. You might be in the Scott Theatre. So I'd really recommend you go for a quick wander around the campus and get that information. That's very useful. So there are the opportunities. You can actually start collecting status points just by attending these sort of social networking opportunities. Some of them are academic based, but it's mostly social, okay, for you to meet new people and that kind of thing. Oh, here we go. So, yep, Campus O'Craw's on there. So there are a few different events, and towards the end of the semester with exam preparation and ideas and tips with that. But this is purely run by a couple of our wonderful staff, but also student leaders. So it's great to be able to talk to students like Alicia, who obviously have experienced that first year and can help you. Jason, do you want me to pass over to you about overseas? You'd like to overseas? Yeah, so look, you've also got an Adelaide Advantage. You can apply now online. So if you're involved in any kind of activity, you don't have to do it now or register now. But, you know, it's a great idea and opportunity for you to think that if you are going to be involved in those co-curricular things and want that acknowledgement, then I definitely recommend going online and join that. So, excellent. Thanks, Sue.
Thanks, Kerry. Just before we talk about study overseas opportunities, I just want to go back to Prof Connect because it is a new program that we're introducing this year and I really want to bring a lot of attention to it. But if you can just kind of indulge me with a little bit of social experiment, can I ask, by raise of hand, who just came straight to uni this year from high school? Look to your left. Look to the person to your left. Look to the person to your right. Now keep your hand up if you know the person either to your left or to your right. Okay, so just look around and see how many people actually know each other. And the point The point I'm trying to get across is this is the first time you're entering university. It's going to be somewhat of a strange environment. They're going to expect very different things to you at a university level. There won't be so much hand-holding. No one's going to remind you your assignments are due. No one's going to check on you so that you will go on your lectures and attend your tutorials. But what I'm trying to get across is the Prof Connect program is a really great way for you to meet other students and to engage with other students so you can all draw from the experience that you guys are having through your studies. The Prof Connect program is for first year students in business, economics, finance, education and entrepreneurship. It is a blend of sort of academic workshops. So we time our workshops so that it's relevant for whatever part of the year. So we'll have workshops about how to structure your assignment, how to avoid plagiarism. Around the time that you're going to have your first assignment due, we're going to have exam revision workshops around the same time when your exams are going to be as well. And in addition to the academic workshops, we also host a number of social activities as well. So that's where you're going to be able to come out, have a free feed, have a free drink, non-alcoholic drink, and be able to meet these people that you're sitting in the room with, because chances are you're going to see them in in classes together. We do have a Prof Connect website and we do have a schedule of events. The smiley faces, the purple and the green, denotes whether they're academic or whether they're social. We haven't had a chance to put it on the website just yet, but some of those activities that are there, if you attend them, you're able to accrue status points towards the Adelaide Advantage program as well. So just refer to the Prof Connect website for more information. So studying overseas, now I'll touch on this very briefly because some of you may not be particularly eligible for this opportunity, but one way we encourage students to differentiate themselves from other graduates, to make themselves more employable, to add depth and breadth to their degree, is to consider an overseas study opportunity. Now, because your education courses are quite structured, it's unlikely we're going to be able to find a match for you overseas in terms of another course, but it might be that you can consider studying overseas in your other degree. So if you're doing an arts degree, go and have a chat to Sarah, Vicky and Hums to be able to see if there's any chance you could do some of your arts courses overseas. But certainly, if you want more information, Global Learning is your first port of call, and then your other faculty, so your Sarah and in Sciences and in ECMS is your other contact for your other degree. Okay, so now that we've given you lots of information, where to from now? Your enrolment is going to open on Tuesday, the 11th, from 2 o'clock. Once you've enrolled in your courses, check into My Uni for your course readers and any textbooks that you might need to purchase. Make sure you activate your student email account and check it regularly, because this is the main way that we're going to communicate with you. If you have a personal email address that you prefer to use, not a problem. Just make sure you redirect your student email account to your personal one so you don't miss out on any information that we're going to send your way. After you've done your enrolment, you can head down to Hub Central and pick up your student ID card. The Hub Central team is actually just located, they've just made a little sort of presence for themselves outside of this lecture theatre. So if you want to have your photo taken and then pick up your ID card after your enrolment, that actually speeds the process up a little bit. So you'll see them outside. Stop and have your photo taken if you're interested. And by now, perhaps next week, you'll be sent what we call an O guide, and that's going to have lots of information, lots of sessions that will be available to you during the orientation week. Definitely go along to them, because, like I said, you're a new student. I think it's best that you equip yourself with as much as possible so that your transition into university is as smooth as possible. Come along to Hub Day Out. It's a really fun day that we've planned for all students, so not just education but business, economics and entrepreneurship as well. There will be industry present, so we're going to have representatives from DEX with booths there, so if you want to come out and ask them any particular question, you can. There will be lots of free food, there will be lots of free non-alcoholic drinks. I think we actually might have soft serve if it's a hot day, but there's going to be lots of games and competitions, so please come along. It's a really worthwhile opportunity. Again, an opportunity to meet your other students, but also the lecturers that are going to be taking your courses. Okay, we're going to have an enrolment help session, which is going to be from the 11th. So when enrolment opens at 2 o'clock, if you want to do a bit of prep beforehand, if you have some questions that you weren't really sort of able to iron out for yourself beforehand, come along to the enrolment help session next Tuesday from 9 o'clock. There will be student leaders who are part of this Prof Connect program available in the computer suite, so they can help you with your enrolment. So the computer suites are located on the ground floor. This is our contact details, so if you ever want to come and see us, we're located on the corner of North Terrace and Pulteney Street. We're open 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday to Friday. That's our Facebook presence and our Twitter presence, if you're so keen to join us, if that's the right terminology, Sash. And that is actually the conclusion of today's presentation. Before I wrap up, were there any further questions out of this? No? Okay, well, thank you everyone. Thank you for coming along, and we hope to see you at Hub Day Out.